is Abdil, and welcome to Monster Morgue.
In today's build, we're gonna do the classic mask from the franchise of Halloween, the part 3, Seasons of the Witch. It hits a spot on my nostalgia. I really hope you enjoy this video. First of all, we're gonna need 3 cheap ice hockey masks. I made the sketch of the patterns watching the images of the mask, the original mask. First, I start by cutting all the patterns in a 2mm EVA foam. Then, with some hot glue, I start gluing them to the ice hockey mask or cheap mask. I always use my reference just to know where to put my stuff and to know what colors we're gonna use. If you want the patterns for this, you can send me a message, a DM, on my Facebook page. I gladly will send it to you via message. So now we are cutting all the shapes of the patterns in a 2mm EVA foam. I'm working all the masks first, then I'm gonna paint them all together. I'm always starting with the nose or the mouth. Then I go to the front of the forehead and then the eyebrows, as shown. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram as Abdiel Grave or in my Facebook as Abdiel Von Grave. Now, with some hot glue, I'm gonna make some warts for the part of the witch. One in the nose, one in the chin, and one in the cheeks. Now, with some black paint and Mod Podge, I'm gonna give them 2 layers for the rest of the paint can blend in well. In the witch, I'm gonna use 3 colors or maybe 2. First, I'm gonna give a base, a dark green base. Then, I will highlight with a lighter green, and then with some yellow and some light green, I'm gonna pop up all the lights, as shown. Here, I'm using the lighter green, just like a lime color. Remember your reference. Have your reference near. It will help you a lot. Now I'm adding some yellow on that green line to pop up more the lights of the mask. So now with a scrap piece of 2mm EVA foam, we're gonna do the tongue and the teeth. We cut like a heart shape for the tongue and some tic-tac forms for the teeth. We're gonna glue them with some super glue. Now with some brown, we're gonna paint the warts. For this fella, we're gonna paint it with it's called garden gray or country gray. It's a gray color. We're gonna do a gray color base, and then we're gonna use some white and some black to highlight and some shadows. Here, I'm applying the white. Remember that all the paint we are using here is acrylic paint, easy to find. Now we give a small amount of white on top of the gray. Remember, leave some of the gray so you can have some shadows and depth. Now I'm painting the teeth. I'm using a small brush for this and using my reference. We retouch with the white some of the areas so that it looks kind of 3D. Now for the pumpkin, I'm using this light, almost white, green, and some yellow. Now that we got that, we're gonna use some orange and yellow to paint the pumpkin. First, I'm using this orange just to give it a base. Then, I'm gonna use the orange with a little bit of yellow to highlight some of the spaces we're watching. Here is dry, so now with a little bit of yellow, I'm gonna do the marks. If you notice, I'm leaving like a line in the middle of the pumpkin and on the sides of the eyes, using the paint we have in the background. Now, we retouch it with a little bit more of orange. Now we also gonna put a little bit of yellow on that orange so we can pop it up. Remember, now it's time to do another coat. Here I'm using some neon green to retouch all the highlights. I'm gonna do the same with the pumpkin with some neon orange. I'm gonna highlight only the highlights. Then with some airbrush, I'm gonna do the shadows in the skull and top of the pumpkin and some shadows in the mouth and nose of the witch. Here I'm using some acrylic black to paint the insides of the eyes, nose, and mouth of the pumpkin. Now, using the reference, I'm gonna make some lines that the skulls has. It's right in the cheeks, on top of the eyebrows and the forehead, and some details in the nose. Now with the airbrush, I'm just giving some shadows as shown. I'm gonna do the same for the witch. I'm gonna shadow on the nose, part of the foreheads, in the cheeks, and in the mouth. For the pumpkin, we're gonna do the line on top of the pumpkin, and with a mist of airbrush, we're gonna do the green part and the top of the line. Now, let's add the hoodie. I just cut this scrap of EVA foam 19 by 1 feet and make a gap or V shape in the back part. Then I glue them with some super glue. Then I start from the top, going down to the sides with some super glue to glue the hoodie to the mask, as shown. We're gonna finish the mask with 2 coats of Mod Podge. Remember, if you liked the video, please consider to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell button. Thank you for watching, and good night.